Hello, hello. Welcome to the Productive Wellbeing Show with me, your host, Abigail Barnes. And today is episode 104. And we are joined by the amazing Molly Dare Hillenbrand. Molly is an entrepreneur, a PR maven, founder of Hillenbrand Media, and the host of the On Air with Molly Dare podcast. Now, as a business owner, a founder, a single mom of two super talented daughters, and the owner of three really cute dogs, life is busy. We even have one of the dogs with us on the show today. Yeah. So on this episode, Molly's going to share her tips, tricks, secrets, and strategies to work-life balance. As you are joining us, please let us know where you're joining us from. If you're joining on the replay, say replay. And if you've got any questions, obviously also leave them in the questions, because we would love to answer any of your questions based on how Molly manages to juggle all of this. So without further ado, Molly, welcome to the show.
Oh, Abigail, thank you so much for having me. You know, it just shows this morning how much we juggle and balance, right? As I raced here right after dropping off my girls at school and feeding the dogs, and I got one on my lap because she wouldn't stop barking. But this is what we do, right? We make it work.
Who is this dog that you have on your lap right now? Introduce us.
So this is Riley. You can see her.
Oh my gosh, Riley is so cute. So for those of you listening to this on audio, what kind of a dog is Riley?
She is a teacup Pomeranian, which she was a last minute addition. I had two dogs and my daughter was going through some stuff. And so to make her life a little bit better, more joyful, I caved in and I bought her another dog. You know, we always say we buy them a dog, but it ends up being, my responsibility. So now I'm the happy mom of three dogs.
Amazing. So just let us know in the comments if you've actually got a lockdown dog over the last 18 months, because this is quite crazy. Like the number of people who have been, purchasing dogs just to sort of bring joy to their lives. And they do. And your dogs are so cute. And if you follow Molly on Instagram, you will see she has these amazing views, amazing dogs. So Molly said morning. So we're recording this and we're live at 2 p.m. UK time BST. So Molly is joining us from Florida, America, and it is 9 a.m. So Molly's just dropped her kids off at school, rushed home to get on live to be here with us today. I love it. I love it. I love it. We have got Louise is saying hi from Dublin, and we've got Karima joining us. She is based in Berlin or Munich. I think it's Munich, actually. Anyway, let's dive straight in. How do you prioritize your time, Molly? Do you have a strategy that you can share with us? What is your sort of go-to thing on a weekly basis? How do you do it?
I'm still figuring it out, but I can tell you that this past year has really helped me prioritize my time, because we've been forced to really figure it all out as we're working from home. I used to be on a plane every 2 weeks, traveling for business and juggling, I'm a single mom with two kids, as you said, juggling their school, their after school activities, work, running a business, getting on a plane, getting on another plane. And so what's happened is this past year where I've had to work from home, I didn't know when to stop working, right? Because now we're all full access where it's 24/7. I'm in my home office and then I walk over and I'm with my kids. There's really no separation in between mom life and work life. So I've really had to figure that out. And that's been really, really tough, not to take my work with me when I'm with them and not to, feel guilty when I'm focused on work. And that is the key point, is the guilt factor, right? It's something that we really, really struggle with no matter where we are at. I'm always feeling guilty, or I was always feeling guilty that I wasn't at the other place. And so I have learned to let that go, to not count the hours that I'm at work or with my kids and trying to be like, oh, I need to, I spent more time here or less time here. What I did was I was present fully where I was. And so if I'm at work, I am 100% focused at work. Sorry, kids. I am totally zoned in. When I'm with my kids, they are my focus. I'm not thinking of work. I'm not taking work calls. I've had to, full admit, put my phone in another room, not just down, but in another room. Because if I even see it lighting up or pinging, I'm distracted. And I can't help myself. I go over to see who's calling, whatever. So I literally have to put it in another room. Easier said than done, let me tell you. That is not easy for me to do. But what it does is it releases the guilt that I have when I'm at work, if I'm at work meetings, if I have work travel, that when I was with my girls, they knew that and they always know that they are my number one priority. I have left many a work trip early if my kids needed me. And anyone who works with me, I make that very, very clear that they come first for sure. But I know when I'm with them that I am completely zoned in and focused on them. So I think it's a quality over quantity.
So that's amazing. So I'm hearing you say boundaries.
Yes.
Presence and just dropping the guilt. You
just have to beat yourself up so much that you just have to. You can't feel guilty anymore. We're so harsh on ourselves.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So guys, I really would love you to drop your comments in the chat box and drop your questions as well, because I've got some more questions for Molly, but obviously specifically you're going to have questions that might relate to how somebody juggles all of these different things. So let's move on to the next question. What does self-care look like for you, Molly?
This is such a great question. And again, I mean, this past year has taught me so many life lessons, as I know it has for so many of us. Self-care for me is both a morning routine and an evening routine that I stick to. My morning routine is not strict, because what I learned was when I had a specific things that I had to do in my morning routine, and I know that's a big buzzword right now, is your morning routine. What I realized was when I held myself to, okay, this is going to be my morning routine, that if I didn't accomplish it, I felt like I didn't accomplish, I felt bad. It didn't make me feel good. I felt unaccomplished for the day. So I got rid of, this is what I have to do. But what I gave myself is the hour from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. before my kids get up and get ready for school for me. And that is when I get to be fully present, fully Molly, and not anybody else. That means coffee, that means sitting outside, that means being with my dogs, maybe taking them for a walk, whatever it is that I feel like doing during that hour, I get to do. And some days it's different. If I want to read a book, if I want to hop on Clubhouse, if I want to, work, if I want to do some editing, whatever that is, I give myself the grace to do it. And being able to be selfish for 1 hour a day and give myself that gift, that grace, starts my day off on such a better foot, and I'm such a happier person. So when I go to wake up my kids, I'm not we gotta go. I'm calm, I'm happy, and that helps them as well get their day started.
I love this. Such a top tip, because it's crazy, isn't it? How the morning routine has almost become an extension of the to-do list. It's like meditate for 10 minutes, read 3 chapters of a book,
and I think
have an ice bath, and it's like, oh my goodness me, eat this, drink this. It's like, wow, I feel like I've done half a day already, and it's only been 60 minutes.
Don't get me wrong. I think those are all great if that's what you feel like doing in the moment. And I also, brought up my evening routine, because that's less talked about by people.
Yeah.
And I think it's also important because I have been an insomniac for most of my life. I really do have trouble sleeping. And so my evening routine has become incredibly important. And that is just simply, moisturizing my face, whatever that is, getting into comfy pajamas. I invested in a new bed sheets, whatever. But what I made sure I did was that whatever was stressing me out that I had to do the next day, I made sure I tackled it before I went to bed, because I didn't want to lay there, which is what I did when I woke up in the middle of the night, stressing about what I have to get done the next day. It's already done. Everything's queued up. My questions, if I have a podcast interview the next day, I've already preloaded them into the computer. Whatever it is, I just take care of it the night before so that I can rest peacefully, which is a gift.
These are such top tips. And yes, you're so right. Like, the things that we do in the morning or the evening are super important, but it's when they become a chore rather than just tools that we can go to get into the, the state that we need for that day. And I love that whole setting yourself up for the following day does start the night before. I have always left out my gym kit the night before. If I wanted to go for a run or go to the gym or do anything, I would always leave it out. So that there was just one less excuse in the morning or one less set of decisions to be making. Like, literally, it's get out of bed, put these clothes on, go do the thing.
Doesn't it? Because when I have it laid out next to me, or my kids' backpacks by the door already, we don't forget anything. It gives us no excuse not to do it. It's all set for us. So it really it's small things that make a big difference.
So this is like top tips. So if you're listening, you're getting the top tips just throughout the session. So this is amazing. Okay, next question. Molly, do you have a team or anyone to help you, and what do they help you with?
Oh yes, I could not do what I do without my team. They're actually, I have been smart enough to surround myself with people who are way smarter than myself. That just made me look good. And that has been key to getting to where I am today. I know my blind spots, of which I have many, admittedly. And the one thing I've done really well is hire the right people that cover my blind spots, which make me run more efficiently and be able to focus on getting the content that is needed and, being on air and doing, whether it's the podcast or filming these segments that I do. I can focus on being fully present in that moment because I have an incredible team of women who help run the show, the behind the scenes, the communications, the management. They set up all the podcasts. They take care of all the communication there. They help me book the filming dates and take care of all the paperwork and everything there. And they're also, I have someone who's in charge of strategy, and we have weekly meetings. And what are we doing? Where's our goal? How are we working backwards to reach, the ultimate goal? And then I have someone who just takes care of me, who, keeps me balanced and in check and, helps me run smoothly. So yeah, I have an amazing team. And again, I literally, they deserve all the credit. I do not, I just show up and get something done, but they run the business part seamlessly.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing this, because I think, like, we talked about guilt at the beginning, but this is one of the things that comes up again and again, is the belief that you have to do it all yourself. But it really is the teamwork that makes the dreams work. And I love these like cheesy quotes, if they're true and if they work. So the business, you've got a team and systems and strategies and people. In your home life, do you have people to support you with certain things? When it comes to running the home, if you've got a cleaner, these sorts of things where people are like, oh, should I get a cleaner? I feel guilty. It's just a few bathrooms. Like, what is your view on this?
No, I have a cleaning lady who comes once a week for sure. Thank goodness. But that's it. I don't have a sitter, but my girls are 13 and 15. So, and honestly, I love picking up my girls, dropping them off because my girls are teenagers, they don't talk to me that well. So really the best conversations that I have with my girls are in the car on the way to school, from school. That is when I get to hear about their day. So I don't want anybody else, doing that. And my girls have learned, because I've been a single mom now for almost 10 years. So for better or worse, my girls have had to learn pretty quickly how to be self-sufficient and to roll with the punches. And we're a team. We are like the three amigos. We help each other, support each other. They really have become incredibly self-sufficient. So I haven't had a sitter or anything for 8-9 years. But I definitely have help with the home, because to be able to clean the home and all of that, with everything else that I'm doing, like, that definitely falls short. So that I've definitely had to spend money on is definitely someone to come and help us with the home.
And I think it's such an amazing investment, because this is also someone else's business. And we can't do everything ourselves. Like, it's just physically impossible. Yes, we all have the same 24 hours, but we've all got different things that we're here to do, different missions, dharmas, life visions to get done. So yeah, I love that. Well, then let's go on to who couldn't you live without?
Each and every one of them, I swear. There's not, I hope none of them ever leave me. I am grateful that I have had someone who's been with me for 12 years. I have someone who's, just started with me this year. Luckily, they stay around, and I hope I didn't just jinx myself. But each of them are such an important part, whether it's content creation, strategy, communications. There's such an important part because I have that many blind spots that it wouldn't run as efficiently. And I have really big dreams and big goals, for what I'm doing. And there's just no way I could get there. I'm trying to think of who is the most, that's so hard. Communication is really important. So, I think it's really, really important as a business to have really good communication and to get quick responses when you send emails. So that's a huge part, I think, of a well-run business. So that, the people who are in charge of the communication part, I think are tremendously, but the creative is just as important. So it's really hard for me to choose.
Can't decide, but the long and the short of it is you can't do it on your own. And that's so interesting because Ava has shared with us that according to the Federation of Small Business, which is a UK organisation, in 2020, there's an estimated 4.6 million private sector businesses with no employees. So many business owners are trying to do it all themselves. Yeah. And work-life balance is just such an important topic. So thank you, Ava, so much for sharing that. It's really, really, it is.
It brings up a great point because believe me, I didn't start with a team. So that's important to clarify that when I started out and I had this, for this last company, which I started in 2017, Hillenbrand Media, it was just me. Okay, there was no one else. It was me learning all the parts of production, of how to do this, the strategy, all these people that I now have people in place for, I was doing it all myself for a while because I didn't have the fun. When you're starting out, you don't have the funds. And it's very hard also as an entrepreneur, as many people know, or a small business owner, you become very controlling of every part of your business because it's your passion, it's your dream. You don't want to give it over to anybody. You think you're the only one that can do it. But the mindset shift of switching to, okay, I probably am going to be better served giving 100% of my energy to this part and letting go of this part actually helped propel my company forward, is by adding to the team. And some people I had to add just by giving them, a percentage of anything that brought in, not a guaranteed salary, because I couldn't even guarantee that at the beginning.
I think this is such an important question, and it's such an important point that you raise, is that how we scale and how we grow our businesses. And it's totally a huge conversation for another day, maybe, like what did you do and how did you do it and what are some steps that people can do. And this is something that I'm covering in my book, Time Management for Entrepreneurs and Professionals, which is out very, very soon, because managing your time, it's your most valuable commodity in your business. But as you say, when you don't have the access to the liquidity, because these things cost money, it's how can you structure it, and it's what can you do, and it's what websites and things like Fiverr.com were go-tos for so many of us. And I still love to go there now because there's some amazing talent on there that is just all around the world. And it started out being a Fiverr, $5, and now you can get people to do way, way more on there.
Oh yeah, I could talk about that forever. We'll have to do it another episode, because even just getting interns to come because they need the credit and the experience, and they'll work for free just for credit and experience to put on their resumes. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I definitely think this could be another conversation because so with the pandemic in the UK at the moment, and I'm not sure about how it is in the US or other countries in Europe, but they're doing an apprenticeship scheme to get young people sort of into businesses and helping and supporting, and the UK government is actually funding that for businesses as well. So
wonderful.
Yeah, and it's just amazing because you're upskilling the next generation and they are then being paid to do it as well, which is sort of a huge thing that stops so many people, is that I don't want to have them for free, but equally I don't have the budget. And yeah, and it's cultural and it's different in every country. So my final question: what's one secret we should all know about work-life balance in a busy household? A secret thing. Now, you've given away so many tips, so it might be something that you've already shared, but just if there's one thing you were saying to a friend who, you know, maybe in the coffee shop was saying to you, Molly, help.
The secret is to let go of the guilt and this idea of perfect balance, because when you're so stressed out about that, you're going to drive yourself crazy. You're not going to be fully present, and giving yourself the gift of being fully present. You know, we think, and I am guilty of this just as much as anybody else, of being like, okay, I'm in work mode, I'm in mom mode. It's not, we're not two different people. We're all the same person. There's no different modes. It all falls under the same umbrella of who we are. So even just thinking like, okay, I'm not shifting from work mode to mom mode. I'm the same person that's just, you know, living my life, and everything that is so beautiful that's in it. And some of it, you know, isn't so beautiful. Some of it's tough and hard, but it's not different modes that you're in. It's all under one person. So stop thinking that you have to be in this different mode, because for some people that can be really jarring and exhausting, to think that they have to switch gears or switch modes every time, you know, they enter their house or enter their work or what that is. You're still the same person. Bring your same self, your complete self, to all of them.
Yeah, I love that. That is such a great share and a great tip, because what are you going to do? Like, show up differently on a phone call? I have to become this person and put on a costume, and then when they meet you in person, they're like, oh, you're totally different how you were. So yeah, authenticity that comes with just being yourself is such a top tip. So amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for your time today, Molly. Where can we find out more about you? Where can we connect with you? Where do you hang out the most?
So I have a website, mollydare.com, which kind of encompasses everything that I do, but I'm on Instagram a lot. And my personal Instagram is @MollyDare. And then I have my podcast Instagram @On Air with Molly Dare, which I feature amazing women, including yourself, whose episode's coming out in a few weeks. And then my company and the film segments that I do are @Hillenbrand Media.
Amazing. And we are going to leave all those links in the comments as well. So Molly, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for making the time in between all of the things. And it's been so awesome to have you on as a guest today. And guys, if you would like to connect with Molly, reach out to her on the socials. And any questions, if you've been watching this on replay, leave them in the comments and we will come back to this. Karima's already saying, love this, I've added you on IG. Amazing. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much. It's been so awesome to be with you all. And I look forward to seeing you all again in a week's time, when we're going to have another amazing guest for episode 105 of the show. So Molly, thank you so much for being with us today. Amazing. Everybody, until next time, stay safe, stay well, keep your distance, and keep washing your hands.